All right, guys, I'm back with another video for you today, and I've got a boatload of highly discounted fragrances to talk to you about today. And there's some really great fragrances here, and some that I didn't even know were already at the discounters, but they won't last too long. So watch the video in its entirety, and if there's anything here that you want to get it right away, because some of these will run out ASAP. There's also a few fragrances thrown in that are super inexpensive. And I've got a lot of testers here as well. So testers are fragrances that might not come with a box, might not come with a box like this, or a box like this, or however the boxes are for each of the brands. So that's a warning for you, but sometimes we don't need the presentation. We just want the fragrance itself. And the testers run out really fast. So I do have quite a bit of testers, some very highly discounted fragrances here that are definitely worth having in your collection. And I'm going to talk about them one by one. Every single item is chaptered, so it's time-stamped, and the products are also chaptered and time-stamped. So you can click through the chapters and learn about the fragrance. And within that same timestamp, you can also buy the fragrance if that's something that you're looking forward to buying. So before I go on with the fragrances, I'm going to give you guys a heads up. We have some amazing developments happening for ScentFest SF, and I will make another video very soon of the entire lineup of brands you'll be able to see. So we have over 60 registrations for exhibitors and sponsors. Within those exhibitors and sponsors, we will definitely have over 110 brands, companies that you'll be able to experience with at ScentFest. So if you've never been to a show that is about fragrances, like a trade show, but something like Scent Explore, maybe Paris Perfume Week, maybe Pitti Fragranza in Florence, and even Essence, which is going to be happening very soon, then this is your chance. This is the first time that we're doing this on the West Coast in San Francisco, and it also happens around the same time as a few other industry shows that are more industry focused, like the WPC World Perfumery Congress in Monterey and the Business of Beauty Global Forum in Napa. So 3 big events happening in Northern California all around fragrances and beauty. This is the very first edition of ScentFest SF. And I would love for you guys to come. Again, over 110 brands, companies that are going to be present with fragrances and whatever their company or brand produces. And we've got a great collection of experiences. You'll be able to make your own fragrances, smell classic and historic and lost fragrances, and discover some amazing brands, and also the people behind the brands, and even meet some perfumers. We've got some perfumers that I'll be announcing very soon. So definitely get your tickets right away. It's just a little less than a month around the corner. So I would love for you to not miss out on the first ScentFest SF and make it an awesome experience, so we can keep doing them every year. So yeah, it's linked in the info box. Get your tickets right away. Plan your travel. It's going to be an amazing time, and you're going to discover some awesome fragrances. And also, you'll be able to buy from 99% of the exhibitors and sponsors there. So you'll be able to buy the fragrances there. All right, let's move on with the fragrances. I'm talking about Roberto Cavalli's collection of luxury fragrances. This is Tobaccomore. So I bought it highly discounted, but I paid about $130 for this. You can get it now for $75, but if you went suggested retail, it's $340. So Tobaccomore is created by Annick Minardo, and it's a tobacco, amber, spicy, a bit leathery kind of fragrance. And if you're a fan of her creations, you're going to enjoy this one. So it's warm, it's spicy, it's got a bit of a Middle Eastern twist to it. It's a bit leathery, and very intense take on a fragrance from a designer, a fashion house of Roberto Cavalli. And I think Annick Minardo does some great work. I'm a big fan of her creations, and she did a great job here. It's definitely something that's enjoyable. It's not a smoky tobacco. It's more of the tobacco leaf, but lots of warm spices, the leathery touches, as I'm saying. There's also some Middle Eastern twists on there as well. So if you like those kind of fragrances, definitely check this one out. And 100 ml for $75. This is not a tester, so you'll get the full presentation. And this is what the box looks like. And so you'll have that like that. So this is normally on the Roberto Cavalli website, it said $340 and it's $75 for this. And Anique Menardo is an awesome perfumer. I've got one more here that's a bit more classic coming later that she's created, but we're starting off with Tobaccomore, $75 for 100 ml. Normally it's $340. I'm gonna go to the House of Hugo Boss and their collection, the collection fragrances. First of which is Exhilarating Vanilla, 100 ml for $75. It's a tester once again. This is not your gourmand vanilla. To me, it's darker, it's smokier, maybe a bit leatherier. Leathery, I should say, maybe a bit leathery, not leatherier. But if you like fragrances like Baby Cat, it's also, to me, not as sweet, although it does sweeten up. To me, this reminds me a little bit of Vanille Carbone from the house of Atelier Materi, because it's kind of got that dark smokiness. It has a bit of a charred effect, leathery effect, syrupy, molassesy that's kind of burned against the kind of sweet, syrupy vanilla that's in here. So this is 100 ml, $75. Normally 100 ml for $330. It's, again, it's not a full-on gourmand. It's the vanilla, the syrupy, kind of ambery, gooey vanilla mixed with darker notes, smoky notes, a bit leathery notes, and things like that. So 100 ml for $75 for this. It's, I think it's a great price because normally they're $330, this collection. So it's a tester also, so that will run out. So if you're in the market for something different for a vanilla, not super gourmand, try Exhilarating Vanilla from Hugo Boss's the collection. Now this next one, I mentioned it last week as well. I'm actually going to do perhaps a video on this because I absolutely love it. This is probably going to be my summer fragrance of the year. I'm obsessed with it. From the same collection, Hugo Boss's The Collection, and this is Vigorous Cologne. Super, super amazing fragrance. I think it's definitely one of the best from the collection. And this is $70, and I believe this is a full presentation, not even a tester. So it comes with the box, and the boxes are like this. So, but what I like about this one, it's kind of a take on a classic men's old school type of cologne, maybe Eau Sauvage, maybe the YSL Paul Monsieur, maybe Chanel, is it Paul Monsieur as well, Chanel? I'm drawing a blank with the name. Or fragrances like that, but kind of in a modern twist as well. So there's mossy notes, there's aromatics, there's spices, and lots of citruses. And it's super fresh. It's got that old school vibe. It's a bit barbershoppy because it's got aromatic notes. But it's a great kind of a sweet tart take on citruses and that kind of foamy, mossy effect that oak mossy notes create in fragrances. It's so good. Awesome, awesome scent. I want you guys to try it because it's really, really amazing. I bought it, and I've always been a fan of the musk, and the musk was not available, and I think it runs out pretty fast because that's one of the more popular. This one I ordered with a bunch of other Hugo Boss The Collection fragrances, and then it came, I liked it a lot, and then I thought the geranium from that collection was better, but now I feel like the Vigorous Cologne is my #2 favorite after the musk, and then the geranium. So if you're into the idea of fragrances like Eau Sauvage but modernized, a kind of a modern, more modern formula, but still paying tribute to the classics, I highly recommend this one. It's so good. It's 100 ml for $70, and normally it's 100 ml for $330, and that's from the Hugo Boss The Collection fragrances, and it's called Vigorous Cologne. So good. It'll be an awesome summer scent. It does lean masculine. I think a woman can totally pull it off, but I highly recommend that one as one of my favorites from that line. Let's move on to Fragonard. I rarely talk about Fragonard, and this is kind of a rare that it's on at the discounter. This is a fragrance called Diamant from Fragonard, and I first discovered it probably 12, 13 years ago at their perfumery in the south of France, Grasse. And I bought a bottle. It is leaning on the feminine side. It's also kind of, to me, a cross between something like Coco Mademoiselle from Chanel and Mugler's Angel. So if you like that kind of sparkly, earthy patchouli, sweetened up with some lighter gourmandesque notes, it's something that you would enjoy. It's not really easy to get these. So it's not like sold at stores. I think online you might be able to get it from the Fragonard website. I think they ship in the USA. But right now, I have a 120 ml bottle, but you can get a 60 ml bottle for 30 bucks. So if you like fragrances like Coco Mademoiselle, maybe a bit of Angel, maybe what's the name of the Lancome's La Vie est Belle, those kind of fragrances, you might really dig this one quite a bit. So this is Diamant, 30 bucks for a 60 ml. Comes with a nice metallic kind of gold bottle. And Fragonard is one of the oldest perfumeries in the south of France. If you've ever gone to the south of France, if you go to Grasse, you can visit their perfumery. They also have a perfumery in Ez. I love Ez. It's a beautiful little village, and they have the perfumeries there as well. Like there's Molinard, there's Fragonard, and there's also Gallimard. So mostly in Grasse, but if you don't make it to Grasse and you go to Ez, you can get those in that little village as well. So that's a great price, $30 for a 60 ml from Fragonard. Check that out. Let's go to a house called Haute Fragrance Company, or simply HFC. We've got Great Way, and this is normally 325 euros. I didn't find a dollar amount or price for this, and there's a tester online for $105. This is a 75 ml bottle. So basically kind of a dry, slightly fruity take on oud. Cute bottle as well. I think if you're a fan of oud, kind of a Middle Eastern twist, because, you know, obviously you can see the camels on there with the desert. It's a cute little bottle, I think. It comes off dry. It's spicy. It's ambery, very woody, oudy. It's not it's not a very animalic Middle Eastern style oud. Mostly it's an accord. They've got the kind of a cypriol kind of a smell in there, which is what they're using, I think, to create the oud accord. Oudy, woody, spicy, warm, ambery, and dry, and a bit fruity. That's where the dates come in. So that's 75 ml for $105 as a tester, and normally it's $325. So that is from the house of HFC, and it's called Great Way. Let's talk about Nishane. I've got a fragrance, I think that was exclusively launched, or I can't remember if it was, because it kind of came quietly. This is Shem, and it's 50 ml, $200 at the discounters. Normally, its suggested retail price is $535. It's kind of a oudy, rosy, aromatic, spicy fragrance, and I can't remember who the perfumer on this one is. If you like cypriol, I can smell the cypriol in here. I also can smell leather. And then a lot of green aromatic notes are in here as well. The rose is kind of coming off a bit green. And it almost feels like there's geranium as well, because the geranium has that kind of aromatic rosiness. So you've got a lot of that presence here. But it's not super warm. There's a freshness about it, but it's not like a super citrusy fresh. It's more fresher ingredients rather than warm. But it does warm up. It does, on the dry down, it warms up and gets a little ambery and a bit warmer. But very, very spicy, very aromatic, a little green leaning type of a rose and oud combo. It's a good price because normally it's $535, so that's pretty highly priced. But 50 ml, $200 is a good price for that if you're in the market for a fragrance like that. Let's talk about a really popular Montale fragrance, 100 ml for $65. Normally 100 ml for $190. So that's a great discounted price. This is one of my favorites. Discovered pretty late. And this also kind of pays tribute to fragrances like Coco Mademoiselle, La Vie est Belle, maybe a little bit of Angel. It's a fruity take on a very mass market oud fragrance. Designer type of an oud fragrance, I would say. More like a Western oud. But it's great to wear. It's not animalic whatsoever. It's just that oudy wood accord that they've created in this. And you've got fruitiness of, I think there's figs here, and there's probably another fruit in there. I think there might be pear. And you've got lots of like earthy, woody spices and things like that in there as well. So it gives me those ideas of Coco Mademoiselle, La Vie est Belle, maybe a little bit of Angel, but less. But lots of fruits and oud and spices together as well. Definitely one of my favorites from the House of Montale. It's the earthiness in there. There's a little bit of like patchouli-like notes in there, but like I said, there's the oud accord, and it's a nice contrast with the fruitiness. It's a great one. It smells great on skin, great projection as well. I love that about that fragrance. It was a late discovery, but glad I discovered it because I do enjoy that one quite a bit. It's 100 ml for $65. Now this next one, we featured it in our latest mystery box that came out in December. And guys, a mystery box might drop sometime very soon. I can't guarantee it'll be in June, but most likely sometime between June and July. So I don't have a date yet. We're still trying to compile the samples. My focus has been completely on Scentfest SF. It's just a very time consuming to organize a fair, fragrance fair. And it's going to be amazing. If you haven't gotten your tickets, please get it. But there will be a mystery box. If it doesn't happen in June, it'll definitely happen in July because our show is over at the end of June and I'll focus on putting together a mystery box for you guys. But this was featured in our last mystery box. It's Mancera's Explicit Vanilla, 120 ml for $80. Normally, this is also a tester. It's a fairly new launch, unlike the previous Montale, which has been around for a good almost 10 years. This just came out last year. So $80 for a tester, 120 ml. Normally 120 ml is $200. What I have to say about this one, it's very close to the skin. To me, it's almost like a layering vanilla. Like you can layer that down and spray something like a bit lighter, but you need to test around with the amount of sprays. This is a good base. To me, it doesn't have projection. It's kind of a close to the skin. It has good longevity, but it doesn't project. It sticks around. So I want something a bit more louder. So if you have any like fragrances that need some depth, like there's a lot of woodiness and spiciness here, and also a lot of syrupy vanilla, but it just doesn't project on me. It's kind of wimpy with projection. So you layer that down. It's also peppery, if I didn't mention that. There's a pepperiness, but lots of dry woodiness and a lot of vanilla, so it kind of comes off a bit butterscotchy. But like spray that down and spray something that might complement it that is also vanillic so that it extends the life to me and adds a little bit of a twist to the way the other fragrance that you like. But I think that's what I would use this for. It's a great base. Explicit Vanilla from House of Mancera, 120 ml for $80. And it's a good price. Normally it's $200 for 120 ml. So let me know if you guys got the mystery box with this and what are your thoughts on Explicit Vanilla. Did you enjoy it? Did you experience it similarly to me? To me, it doesn't have a lot of projection. I don't know why. It just sits very close. It's kind of delicious, but I just wanted a little bit more oomph from that. But again, you can use it as something to layer with, or if you don't like projection, I think it might work out great for you. It's super cozy, so you can also use it like as a bed scent. That syrupiness of the vanilla, the gooiness, kind of butterscotchy, caramelly qualities of it is awesome. So this next one is fairly new. There's a tester for $125. It's a 50 ml. Normally it's $235. It's one of my favorite offerings of this year. It's XERJOFF Gibeon. I discovered it last year, but it was launched worldwide earlier this year, and it is so freaking amazing. I absolutely love it. It's a tester. Get it before it runs out. 50 ml for $125. It's a great price. It's a tester, as I said, and normally it's $235. It's super powdery, got vintage old school vibes. There's some syrupy kind of creaminess in there as well, but something about the scent is super exciting. I love it. I want to wear it. Lightly kind of white chocolatey creaminess as well, almost like regular chocolate, like milk chocolate. But to me, it doesn't have that distinct flavor of the chocolate, more like it's coming off more chocolatey, like white chocolatey. But it's super awesome, very, very powdery, and really enjoyable and cozy to wear. One of the best from XERJOFF. If you haven't tried it, please do. Again, it was announced late last year. I have a video with Sergio Momo talking about it, but it launched earlier this year, and this will run out. I think since it's super new, $125 for that tester, and normally it's $235, but it is also a really new offering, so get that one before it runs out. Keep in mind, everything is timestamp tagged, so if you're in the market and I'm talking about that fragrance, there should be a button for the product. You can buy it there. All right, let's talk about some fragrances from the house of Tiziana Terenzi. There's some great deals out there. First of which is Siene. Siene is a leather fragrance, and it's It's something, well, first of all, it's an extrait de parfum. Is it an extrait de parfum? Yeah. All of Terenzi fragrances are extrait de parfum. To me, it gives me a very spicy take on something like Tuscan leather. And you've got that kind of a Tuscan leather or ombre leather, like, you know, a DNA in there. But there's a lot of spices. It's quite dry. I feel like I'm going to maybe going to Florence to the leather trade, and then right along there's like a spice bazaar or spice store or something. So it's coming off very spicy, very dry, and then also some light ambery touches with a lot of leather. So it's a leather that kind of hints at the qualities of Tuscan leather or ombre leather, but with a lot of dry spices in there as well. It's super awesome. Very, very dry from the house. Siene. So that is 100 ml for 80. Normally it's 100 ml for 295. And I can't find a lot of the fragrances at the store. Some of these fragrances are showing up at places like Neiman Marcus. I found one at Beverly Hills Perfumery. So it's pretty nicely discounted. But this next one's even better discounted. This is Arrakis. This is actually a tobacco fragrance. This is $565 normally. Look at how dark the juice is also. Normally it's $565 and it's at the discounter for $165. So you're saving $400 on that. And it's a great, very spicy take on like an oudi kind of fragrance. But this is tobacco. There's also the reminder of something like Mancera's red tobacco. This seems a bit smoother, but super loud and intense, overwhelming. This is an extrait de parfum. It's super strong, very, very long lasting. If you like red tobacco, you want something a little bit different. This one comes off not as harsh as Mancera's red tobacco. There's definitely a smoothness about it. But Arrakis is a tobacco bomb. Super, very, very spicy, intensely spicy, and also very ambery. There's like a lot of ambery effect. So there's a sticky quality about this. I mean, red tobacco had that sticky quality as well. And I feel like if you want the intensity, if you want more depth and a bit more smoothness, this Arrakis is definitely one for you. Now, normally this is $565. I found it on, I'm sorry. No, yeah, this is normally $565 at Neiman Marcus, but it is at the discounters for $165. So you're saving about $400. And this next one's one of my favorite Terenzis, all-time favorite Terenzis. This is HALE BOPP. Normally it's $510. It's an amber, by the way. And at the discounters for $150. This I've recommended so much. If you are a fan of fragrances like Chanel's Le Lion, but you don't want the animalic touches that comes with that fragrance, this to me removes the animalic touches and intensifies it. It's an extrait de parfum. It's like a really nice, deep, kind of gummy, resinous, but syrupy take on an amber. Super awesome amber, but very reminiscent of Le Lion. It just doesn't have the smokiness of Le Lion to me. And it also doesn't have that slight leathery touch, that animalic quality that it settles to when it's drying down. This is sweet, very spicy. As I said, very much like syrupy, but also very gum resin, like super resinous. The texture it comes off, but really, really awesome. One of the best. I highly recommend this one. If you don't have like a great amber, this is a super awesome amber. Really, really great and very, very long lasting. A little goes a long way. And this is the kind of fragrance that it doesn't have a lot of fresh top notes, if at all. So this one, keep it in a dark, dry space, and it's gonna last forever. Like if you have like Vigorous Cologne, I recommend it. That one you'll need to use up faster because it is a lot of citruses. It'll turn faster. But fragrances like this hardly ever turn. You come back to it 10 years after and it still smells the same. But keep in mind, you still have to keep it in a dark, dry, cool space rather than leave it in your bathroom in humidity. But this is awesome. Please get a bottle. I highly recommend this. This is HALE BOPP from Tiziana Terenzi. I know some of you don't like Le Lion because it does go animalic. I love it. But I can also layer the two, intensify it, and it'll kind of make this HALE BOPP a bit smokier because I do get the smoky, leathery touches from Le Lion. But there are major similarities between the two. So let's move on to the house of Hermes. We've got Eau de Basilic Purpre, so purple basil. This is a 200 ml online for 54 tester, or 100 ml for 40 as a tester. I've got the 100 ml here. Normally the 100 ml is 151. So you got a 200 ml for $54, and 100 ml suggested retail price is 151. But I also have a 100 ml online for 40. So if you want double the juice, you just pay $14 or more, and you get 200 ml of this. So it's 54 discounted in a 200 ml, 40 discounted in 100 ml. Normally the 100 ml is 150. So what's the fragrance all about? This is part of the Hermes Colognes collection. This is a basil focused fragrance. So if you love the smell of basil, just imagine, I remember one of my memories of my dad's mom, grandma. I remember a rooftop, we had a big garden, and my grandmother was planting basil quite a bit in little pots. And I remember running my hands through that pot of basil, like lush basil growing, and that smell has stood out in my memory forever. This kind of reminds me of it. I mean, it's basil. It's basically like you come across a basil bush and you're running your hands through it, and you put it to your hands to your nose and you're smelling it. That's kind of what it reminds me of. So it's very aromatic. It's very fresh and spicy, super green. I think there might be some citruses in here, maybe some light musk, but it's an eau de cologne. It's super fresh. And I would say it has a bit of vegetal quality, because to me, I associate basil with cooking, with vegetables and things like that. So I would say that, but it's more aromatic and spicy. But it's a great deal for a 200 ml. It's $54 if you buy a 200 ml of this. And it's a lot of basil smell, just keep that in mind. But if you love that, I recommend it for the 200 ml. But 100 ml at the suggested retail is 151. So if you went to the Hermes boutique or you went to a department store, if you buy 100 ml, it's 151. But at the discounter, the 200 ml is 54. So that is a great price. Let's go to the house of Boucheron next. Sorry. Boucheron has got Jaipur, and you can get this probably around $39 for 100 ml. There's a 100 ml tester for this Jaipur at $30. So that is also a great deal. I mean, you're saving an additional $9. It's already a pretty inexpensive fragrance, but this is also an Annick Menardo creation. She did this in the latter mid to late 90s. And to me, it still smells great. It's spicy, it's vanillic, it's ambery, and sort of reminiscent of fragrances from that era, like La Male. Kind of like, there's definitely kind of a men's cologne-like quality hidden in here, and it's warmed up quite a bit with a lot of vanillic notes and spices, warm spices like cinnamon. I would say this fragrance didn't become as popular as La Male, but I feel like there are similarities between them. But this one definitely goes a lot sweeter and warmer and amber. I don't remember if there's lavender in here. I'm not smelling it, but I'm picking up a lot of cinnamon. But it does give me a little bit of the old school men's cologne-like qualities in there as well. And I feel like it's hidden and covered up with the spices and the amber and the vanilla and things like that. But it's a great scent. It's a it's a $30 tester for this. You can get it for $39 suggested retail approximately, but the less you pay for a fragrance, then is better for me. I look for the best deals that I can find when I'm buying online. So the next fragrance is from the house of Derek Lam. It's Something Wild. So you have a 175 ml tester for $40, and I paid for the 50 ml about $30. So it's a good price. You get a lot more juice. And what's this about? It's vanilla and sandalwood. Super cozy, sweet and woody. And I just lost that on the ground, on the floor. This brand, I remember when it first premiered at Nordstrom, all the bottles were everywhere. And then all of a sudden, they just kind of fell apart. I don't know the designer behind the brand, so I don't know much about it and what happened. But they've launched all these fragrances. This is the best one, I think, in the collection. I should buy a 170 ml bottle for, what's the price, did I say? 175 ml for 40, because it's super cozy, and you smell the sandalwood in there. It really smells that kind of slight medicinal creaminess of the sandalwood, but it's super cozy, smooth, and vanilla and sandalwood together. It's inexpensive. It's totally worth it for that price. It's like I said, I bought this for like $25 to $30 for the 50 ml, but it's 175 ml for 40. You get triple, quadruple the amount of juice. I'm not doing the math right, so it's a great price for that. And if you love cozy fragrances, super smooth and woody, yeah, you definitely got to try this one. So that's Derek Lam 10 Crosby Something Wild. Great price on that. So next we've got ATTAR Collection KHALTAT Night. 100 ml 95, but I think normally this is not super expensive. It's like 130, but it is available at the discounter for 95, under $100. This to me is kind of like Wajan mixed with cherries. So there's a fruity quality about it, super juicy cherry quality. But behind all of that, there's the tonkas and the amber, the sweetness, giving me major reminiscence of Wajan. Just imagine taking like cherry liqueur with the cherries, kind of fruity, pulpy cherries, and meshing it with the DNA of Wajan. It's super cozy. I think it's more autumn appropriate. Slight booziness from the cherries as well, but it's super delicious. KHALTAT Night. What do you guys think of this? 100 ml for 95. It's not a major savings, but I think even under $100, I think is a good price for that. But let's move on to this next one from ACQUA de Parma. I don't know what's going on with this particular fragrance, but I think it's discontinued. So 100 ml for 65. I can't find any prices on the suggested retail price on 100 ml. I've got the 200 ml. It's Colonia Futura, and I can only find a 200 ml online for $2.99. So 100 ml is $65. And if you buy 200 mLs, it's like 170. So still less than the suggested retail price. The ACQUA de Parma website only had a body spray of this, not even the 100 ml or the 200 ml. I found the 200 ml on Neiman Marcus and Saks, I believe. So this is basically taking the original ACQUA de Parma Colonia and adding major aromatics to it. It's super, super green and herbal and giving you the old school vibes, but still kind of fresh, cologne-like, barbershop-y like, because lots of aromatics. And I think it's a solid offering. I think it's perfect for summer wear, but I don't know what's going on with it. Has it been discontinued, and does anybody know? I feel like ACQUA de Parma is kind of going in a different direction. What are your thoughts? I've seen a lot of different changes in their bottles and things like that. So maybe this got discontinued. I don't know. This is also 180 ml. They also changed bottle sizes. I think they used to have different sizes before, like 125 ml. Now they made it 100. This is 180. They don't make this size anymore, but they have a 200 ml online. I don't know, but this is solid. If you like that smell of the original Colonia from ACQUA de Parma, but you want a lot more aromatics and spices, I would go for that. But it's super fresh. This is Colonia Futura, ACQUA de Parma. Let me know. So it's 100 ml for 65. Suggested retail price for 200 is $2.99. I can't find 100 ml online at all at suggested retail, like department stores and the ACQUA de Parma website. In fact, I can't find this fragrance at all on the ACQUA de Parma website, except for a body spray, but the 200 ml on Saks and Neiman's is $2.99, so it's a great deal for that. Now let's talk about a tester for something that I've recommended quite a bit of as a great alternative to Layton. This is White in Black by LALIQUE. Tester for 25 bucks. Suggested retail price on this is 135. You can probably find regular bottles for probably around $40, $50, but it's a tester and it's a 125 ml bottle. So it's a really inexpensive offering or a deal. So get it now if you've been in the market for that. It's super spicy, peppery, woody, and vanillic. I think it's a great alternative if you can't afford Layton, for Layton, I think. And it's LALIQUE. LALIQUE makes some great fragrances. I put vanilla here. It comes with a pencil that you can write on it, the bottle. The bottle is kind of matte finish. I don't know, I wrote vanilla there. I think I might have had something else on top too, but I don't see that there. Yeah, so 25 bucks for that. It's super, super inexpensive. And the last fragrance I'm going to talk to you about is this one, recommended again as a tester, 100 ml for 80. It's an Amber Woods Bomb, Ambroxan to the max. It's Thomas KOSMALA's number 4, Après l'Amour. And normally it's $235. Like if you go to Dillard's, you can buy this on Dillard's online for $235. No deals, but a tester for 80 bucks. If you love amber woods, this is the fragrance for you. It's super strong, very potent, long lasting, kind of minimalistic. It's amber woods, like basically ambroxan type notes, synthetic, super synthetic, woody, spicy, musky, ambery, and a bit salty, marine, all mixed into this specific kind of a synthetic molecule. But people seem to love it. In fact, here's the idea. If you take both explicit vanilla and number 4, you get vanilla powder. Because for me, this smells like vanilla powder. The number 4 smells like vanilla powder without the vanilla. And then you've got vanilla here that's super close to the skin. But what I would do is, if you have number 4, this explicit vanilla, layer the number 4 first, because it's a stronger, it's all like base notes. That would be your base, and then spritz on top of it with explicit vanilla. You would make something like vanilla powder. I wouldn't say it smells identical, because I don't think Matière Première uses the same kind of vanilla that MANCERA uses, but you kind of get the similar idea, because for me, vanilla powder smells like number 4, Après l'Amour, but without the vanilla. So yeah, you get some similar mix. So this one I've highly recommended over and over again. $80 for a tester is a great deal. Get it. It's Thomas KOSMALA's number 4 Après l'Amour, and normally it's 100 ml for $235. And if you get that MANCERA as well, layer them and see what you get. In fact, let's go ahead and quickly spray the two together. Again, I don't think they're going to be identical smelling, but it's going to give you a similar idea. I think the number 4, oh yeah. Not identical, but a similar idea for sure. So, $160. Has Matière Première vanilla powder gone on sale for that low? You can kind of accomplish something similar. I'm not saying it's identical, but the amber woods from number 4 is super strong, reminiscent of vanilla powder's amber woods. And then you've got the syrupy vanilla. You might have to increase the vanilla in this one a little bit more. To me, that MANCERA explicit vanilla is so subdued. I don't know what it is. And I don't think maybe it's just me, but it doesn't come off super loud for me. But yeah, you get a similar idea here. If you have both of these, you get vanilla powder pretty much. Not identical, but the idea and a similar smell. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Great deals. Take advantage of them. Remember, they're all timestamp tagged. And as I'm clicking through the products, you can click the products or the timestamps and order the fragrances. Let me know what your thoughts are. Have you worn any of these? Have you done this layering duo of these two? It certainly creates that effect. But yeah, take advantage of these. And don't forget Scentfest SF as well. Get your tickets, get your passes, plan your trip. It's going to be an amazing show. We'll probably have anywhere between 2,000 to 3,000 attendees at the show. And I'm super excited. I want you guys all here. It was a very, very intense production, but we did it. We launched in March, and it's just at the end of May, and we have an amazing show planned and lined up for you guys. So I hope to see you guys here, and thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video, please share it, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. All right, guys, let's have a quick bonus buy thing here. I don't have these fragrances, and I'm going to ask you if you've tested them yourself. They're available, and I'm going to blind buy them to have here because they're pretty inexpensive. First of which is the Fragrance Kitchen Naughty Patchouli. It's 3 different patchouli fragrances. Since I'm a patchouli lover, I want to have these. So the Fragrance Kitchen Naughty Patchouli available as 100 ml for $60. If you've worn it, let me know. What are your thoughts? Add a comment below. I'm definitely interested in picking it up and then reporting back to you guys on my purchases and what I think about them. I haven't experienced much with the Fragrance Kitchen. I've known about them. I have one fragrance that I've reviewed, and I've wanted a few others. And I don't know what's happening to the brand. I think it's founded by a very wealthy someone in the Gulf countries, I think, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm curious about Naughty Patchouli. Let me know your thoughts. Add a comment below. Let's move on to SHAURAN Patchouli Vision. This brand I'm not too familiar with, but it sounds like a great scent. I want to have that as well. It's also 100 ml for $60. Does anybody know the brand SHAURAN? Again, I'm a big patchouli lover. I'm compiling my collection of patchouli fragrances, and I'm curious to see what this one's all about. I want to sample it, wear it, and maybe discover this brand a little bit, because I had heard about it and I don't have much experience with the brand. So I'm curious with a blind buy here of SHAURAN Patchouli Vision. If you guys know about the brand, let me know. Add a comment below. And last but not least, it's VERTUS Sol Patchouli. Now, I've sampled some of these fragrances. I think I was in Marbella at Niche Perfumes. I think that's the name of the store. And they carried this line. I don't remember smelling this, or maybe I did. It's been so long. It's been like since 2019 when I was there. So I want to buy this. I want this fragrance. It's Sol Patchouli, but this one's more expensive. It's $105 for 100 ml. Does anybody know VERTUS, the brand? Add a comment below, let me know. And if you've sampled Sol Patchouli, also let me know. Do add a comment so I can find out what you guys think about it and if it's worth buying. But anyway, I am going to buy it. I'll buy it as soon as this video airs, and I'll report back once the fragrances are shipped. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.